At the time of our text today, Jesus' face, Jesus' purpose was set as if it was a lodestone pointing north on a compass towards Jerusalem, for he had a date with a cross on a hill shaped like a skull. But as he moves hurriedly towards Jerusalem, Mark says that he passed through Jericho. And the text picks up as he's on his way out of Jericho. Scholars know this is the last time he'll be in the city of Jericho. Jericho is an unusual place because the name simply means accursed. When Joshua conquered Jericho, he cursed the city. And it had an ominous place in the life and the history of the Jewish people. But not only is Jericho accursed, it's a cursed place. It's been cursed for years and centuries, and now we encounter a man. The Bible says his name was Bartimaeus. He was the son of Timaeus. He was from the Timaeus family. The word Timaeus means polluted, nasty, dirty. So Bartimaeus has two things working against him already. He lives in an accursed city, and he's from a family with a bad name. I wish I had some help in here. He's from a family with a bad name, and then thirdly, to compound the fact, he's from a bad place, and he's out of a bad family. He's blind. Now, when one looks at the text, we can see that Bartimaeus had adapted to that which was wrong with him. He's become a strategic beggar, if you will. He's not sitting in the city somewhere. He's out on the main thoroughfare. I thought I had some here. And he is making it perfectly clear that his purpose for being here is begging. I mean, after all, he's blind. He cannot hold down a carpenter job. He cannot hold down a job as a shepherd. His blindness has relegated him to depending on the kindness and the courtesy of others. He's sitting by the highway side and he's asking for stuff to be put in his cup. He's just getting by. And I've come today to talk to somebody here in this room this morning who has adapted and become adjusted to that which is holding you back, and you are just getting by. Life has no flavor to it. It's bland. You just go through the motions from day to day. There are no moments of joy and celebration and jubilation that belongs to you. You just wake up, you clock in, you clock out. Y'all gonna help me here? I wanted to look at this for a moment because I promise you that Jesus was right when he said, I've come. Won't you talk to me in here? That you might have life and have it more abundant. Listen, if you go to sleep and wake up, that means you have some more living to do. I thought I had something there. If you wake up in the morning, that means God has something more for you to do. You're not done, so you got to live. And I thought that I might just come on and suggest strongly to you that you ought not just go through the motions. Life ought to have some meaning and some purpose for you. You ought to be tired of just getting by. Ought to be tired of just taking life blandly, if you will. I wanted to look at it for a minute because I want to suggest to somebody that you can defeat your difficulties. You can master your misfortunes. Because I promise you, there's something wrong with all of us. Bartimaeus is not the only one with a handicap. Y'all gonna help me? All of us in here got something that if we could change it, we would. But I found out one thing, that some stuff in my life is not meant to be changed. It is meant to be overcome. I got to overcome some stuff. I got to, I just got to stand up to it and say, listen, I'm not taking it no more. I'm going to deal with it. And it appears to me strongly that Bartimaeus decided this day that he was tired of just getting by. Tired of just going home and counting up his take for the day. Tired of giving his cut to those who may have led him to his place of begging. Tired of just getting by. Tired of being in a world and hearing birds sing and cannot see them. Tired of being in a family, having family members and cannot see them. He's tired of this dark world that he's in. Somebody in here ought to be tired of a bland relationship. Tired of just going through the motions, being husband and wife, and really have become roommates. You ought to be tired of just getting by. There ought to be somebody in here who's just tired of a job that seemingly is not going anywhere. What would you do if you wasn't afraid of leaving your comfort zone? Every once in a while, it's be at the house. I just sit in a different chair. I just like to get life from a different perspective. You know, I got a recliner that they bought for me on a Father's Day, and it's comfortable. Mingo, I get in that thing, man, and I can hardly stay awake. But every once in a while, I like to sit in a different chair and get life from a different perspective. Watch TV from a different angle. Anybody here tired of just being creatures of comfort? You go in the house and you put on the same little duster, same little rag on your head, and get in your little spot. And there you are, snug as a bug in a rug. But life really for you is bland. No enthusiasm. No joy, just, how you doing? I'm all right. What's going on? Nothing. Just getting by. And Bartimaeus said, I need a change. Mm-hmm. I want to challenge somebody in the room that you ought to declare today that you're tired of getting by. You ought to declare today that the day is the first day of the rest of your life, and you're going to make it a journey that's worth living. It's in your hands. It's in your hands to make a difference. And so the Bible said he lived in an accursed city, came from a family with a bad name. And you know, sometimes it's kind of hard to overcome bad family names, because there's some folk won't let you live down what family you came from. I thought I had somebody who talked to me for a minute, because see, there are some places that Hawkins' name is not popular because we are troublemakers. And to be a Hawkins, you had to always fight. You had to hold up the name banner. You had to be a drinker, a drugger. Just had to be in a bad posture all time. Even when we decided we weren't going to fight, somebody just pushed us because we was the Hawkins. I thought I had somebody who, anybody here know what I'm talking about? That they said, oh, so you a Smith. I know you look like one of them booths. And then they start treating you and dealing with you as if somehow you're not just your daddy's son, but you're your daddy. And I got to work on overcoming from a bad place and from a bad family name, and then my own little shortcomings, whatever it may be. I'm blind. But I think you might be ready to move. See, you got to have a Jed Clampett experience in life. You know, Jed was from Bug Tulsa, but he moved to Beverly Hills. I wish I had 3 of y'all who came to have a little church here. You just can't be happy in Bug Tulsa all your life. You just got to, you know, be willing to move to a new address. And Bartimaeus goes about his normal stuff. He gets in his place early. He didn't come to work late. He's a beggar. Might miss some business. See, if you're going to change where you are, you need to speed some stuff up. I found out something that, you know, the earlier you wake up, the better chance you got of catching the day. Can I say it like this? I got up yesterday morning, I went down to the beach, and it was dark, and I sat there because I was told if I sit there long enough, I'd catch the sun coming to work. And I sat there, and lo and behold, he announced, I'm on my way. The clouds start turning red, signifying his presence because he was coming in. And I sat there and I watched that darkness transformed into day, and the sun appeared. You hear about that stuff, but ain't nothing like catching him. But you can't catch him coming to work sleep. You can't catch him coming to work in your house. Got to get out your comfort zone. It took some stuff for me to get up, get out the bed, get in the car, go down to the beach, and sit there and have no agenda but looking east. You want to change life sometime? Catch a sunrise and a sunset in the same day. It will put your life in a... I bet you if I'd ask you to raise your hand, I bet you I got somebody here had never seen the sunset. Now, I ain't said seen a picture. I said literally sat somewhere where you was in a position that you could see it go down behind the western horizon and darkness creep in. Just some simple stuff that transforms life. And Bartimaeus said, I'm tired of living like this. So now listen, Bartimaeus could have been like a lot of us. I got to hurry. He could have been talking about, well, you know I'm blind. And since I'm blind, I don't have to work. Y'all know I'm blind, so since I'm blind, I need assistance everywhere I go. You ever been around somebody who magnified their handicap, if you will? Well, you see, you know, I just don't like being around people. Well, you know, I'm just shy. Well, you know, I don't do well in public speaking. Somehow we give more press and credibility to shortcomings. That backs me into my first point. If you're going to change it, if you're tired of living the way you're living, the first thing you got to do is concentrate on your assets. Now, it was evident he was blind, but Bartimaeus could hear. You missed me. See, you may be shy, but God can give you holy boldness. You may be alone, but God can fix it where you can meet somebody who can be a company keeper in a lonely hour. His name is Jesus. Now, somebody in here talking about, well, you know, I dropped out of school. I didn't finish school. You talking about liability. Let's talk about an asset. You're still breathing. It is never too late. Somebody got 3 hours away from a degree and quit. Now you keep telling yourself, well, I can't go back because I got children. I can't go back because I'm married. I can't go back because I can't get off work. And lo and behold, we put education online. There are ways of getting stuff done if you really want to do it. So instead of concentrating on your shortcomings, you ought to focus on your assets. He was blind but not deaf. And not only was he not deaf, he was highly socialized. He knew how. Bartimaeus was a negotiator. Yeah, I mean, come on. You got to know how to deal with people if you need people. I was at the golf course yesterday getting some therapy, and I went into the clubhouse to get a sandwich, and it just seemed as if it pained that girl to wait on me. She was like, as she was in some kind of agonizing moment, and I was disturbed because I came in to tip. But she just backed me into a posture where I just don't believe that I ought to pay and beg. And since I was paying, I wasn't begging. And she cut herself out of a tip, and I really almost thought that I had the right to play the race card, but the fella I was playing with, he looked a little lighter than me, and she treated him the same way. And I said to him when we got back out on the course, I said, man, I almost thought it was racism, but she treated you just like she did me. She must be having a bad day. He said, you know, I'm a big tipper too, but I put my tip back in my pocket. What you saying, Hawker? Y'all miss out on a whole lot of blessings because you're nasty for no reason. It takes less muscles to smile than it does to frown. And so you got to know how to deal with people. And he was blind, but he wasn't deaf, so he could hear. And he heard somebody say, he said, did you say Jesus? He said, which Jesus is it? You know that matters, don't you? You know, when you see in Scripture, they always talk about Jesus. They always tag his place of home, his origin, Jesus of Nazareth. Because see, when he got here, it was some more Jesuses. Because there was some more folk that thought their son was going to be Jesus. So you listen now, you don't just get Jesus. Got to get the right Jesus. See, some of y'all looking for your future in the wrong place. It ain't on Bourbon Street. Your future is with Jesus. And he said, did y'all say Jesus? Say, yeah. Say, which one is it? He said, oh, that's the one from now. Oh, that's the one. He said, Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. Now, Bartimaeus can't see if Jesus is listening, but he refuses to be quiet. Now, I got to hurry, but I got to tell you that when you decide you're going to change it, watch people around you. Because folk around you don't like for you to change. Because they got you predicted. They got you figured out. They know your routine, and they don't like changes in their life. I get out that recliner, I sit in the chair. My wife said, why you over there? Y'all missed it. Change. And so the second thing you got to do is not only you have to concentrate on your assets, but you've got to conquer public opinion. Because I tell you, folk got opinions when they don't have nothing else. Broke, but they got an opinion. Out homeless, opinion. And we live in a world of opinionated people. See, because I mean, even it's Jersey Day, and I have on a St. Jersey, there are some who have the opinion it's the wrong jersey. But let me tell you why it's the right jersey. It's the right jersey because, first of all, it's a jersey. But see, I'm a saint. I can't help it because I'm a saint, not because of those in New Orleans, but I'm a saint because of the one that went to Calvary and died. So I mean, if you're going to get on a team, get on the saints team. I'm just saying. I better close. I'm just saying. So you can't lose if you're a saint. May not go to the Super Bowl, but heaven bound. Let me close. Somebody help me close. Noah would have never gotten the ark built if he'd listened to people. David would have never killed Goliath if he'd listened to his brothers. So they was asking him, what you doing up here? Supposed to be keeping sheep. Every time you get ready to make a major move, Drew, I'm talking about major, life-transforming move, there's always somebody who has an opinion. But man, I think I'm gonna pop the question. Why you gonna do that, dog? You don't wanna go. You finna mess it up, player. You finna mess the game up, man. Opinion. I'm gonna put in for that opening in that other department. Man, why you wanna go? You don't wanna be no supervisor, man. You don't wanna be no white hat. You wanna stick down here with us. Opinion. Whose opinion holding you hostage right now? Whose opinion? Keeping you from making that major move. Bartimaeus cries, verse 48, I'm not making this stuff up. This ain't no crackerjack stuff here. Verse 48 says, and many charged him that he should hold his peace. Blind men crying out for healing, and they say, shut up. I found out something. Brought it out to study for you free. Folk don't want you to prosper. They don't want you to do well and do better. Because somehow they get a sense of accomplishment if they're a dollar above you. Come driving up in your car, and they say, oh, that's you? So, yeah, I just keep the Bentley in the garage most of the time. I'm telling you, I can't be seen with you no more because you driving the Bentley. Well, the Bentley done the same thing that the Volkswagen done. And when the Bentley got to the parking lot, the Bentley said to me, I'm taking you as far as I can go. Y'all missed it. Y'all don't know what you're driving. You don't know what I'm driving. You don't even know I'm driving anything. But if we go to that parking lot, you start forming opinions based on where I got a key to. Oh, man, he ain't going to never buy nothing else. Ever since I known him, he had that car. Well, you know, he was born in that house. He just ought to buy him another house. I'll do that if I can give you the mortgage. If I'm living in the house I was born in, it just may be because the house I was born in paid for. Hello. And so the text says, they said, hush. I like Bartimaeus. Bartimaeus, he my kind of guy. Listen what the text says that what Bartimaeus did. But he cried a great deal more. In other words, Bartimaeus said, y'all ain't heard nothing yet. He said, Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. They say, hush, man, hush, don't embarrass us, man. Jesus ain't got time for you. Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. And the Bible said that because of Bartimaeus crying a great deal, the more something happened. Richard Young, First Baptist of Escatawba, said, he greater First Baptist of Escatawba said that whenever faith is in the air, Jesus has to stop in his tracks. Thought I had something there. You know, that woman of this blood had faith and she stopped him. See, when you got faith, you get God's attention, because without faith it's impossible to please him. And Bartimaeus just wasn't crying out to be heard. He didn't care who else heard him. He just needed Jesus to hear him. Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. Something strange happened here in the text, because verse 49, the 8th section of that verse said, and Jesus stood still. Oh, y'all don't hear me. Bartimaeus didn't have no appointment, but he said, I'm going down to the doctor's office and see if he can work me in. See, sometimes the door is not open, but you got to get down there on the threshold and wait and see what happens. Opportunity is a bald-headed man. You got to catch him while he's coming at you. Because if you let it get past you, you don't have nothing to grab on to. You got to catch me coming at you, because if I get past you, your hands ain't going to catch this head. That's opportunity. And how many of us have missed an opportunity because we weren't ready when it knocked on the door? Who is it? Opportunity. Give me a minute. I got to get dressed. Moving on. And Bartimaeus said, I got to seize the moment. And Jesus stops and now watch this now. Jesus stopped, stood still, and commanded him to be called. Now you see, let me tell you something. Don't miss this point here. I'm through. Don't you get caught up in how you get blessed. That's why some of y'all you're going to miss your blessing. Because, see, you done wrote out, told God how to do it. I want a wife, but she got to look like Beyonce, have Tina Turner legs, and I mean, that's that's all right. But maybe the Lord want to give you one that might just be a little thick, but trustworthy. See, I want him, Lord, I want him tall, dark, and handsome. And the Lord said, most pretty boys don't work. I need some help in here. I need some. And if he's that pretty, more than you want him. The point I was making is other folk wasn't even asking for healing, and he healed them. John 9, man born blind, didn't even ask to be healed. Jesus made an ointment, put it on his eyes, told him to go to the pool, wash, came back seeing. But now here's a man asking for help, and this is what Jesus said, tell him come here. You got to learn any way you bless me, Lord. I'm going to be satisfied. Can y'all give me a few minutes to preach this third point? I promise I'm going to be through in a minute. You got to concentrate on your assets. You've got to conquer public opinion. And thirdly and finally, you got to cast off your garment. Now, Bartimaeus, I told you in the outset, was a beggar, and the beggars wore a camel-haired tunic. And it was designed to keep them cool in the summer and warm in the winter by the unique nature of the camel hair and skin. And they would go out and they would sit and they would cover themselves and protect themselves from the elements. But also by wearing this garment, they were identified as a beggar. Just like the police officer when he's in uniform, you said, there go a policeman. The doctor come in the room, white coat, stethoscope around his neck. You say, he's the doctor. They are identified by their garments. And Bartimaeus says, I am about to ask God to do something for me, and I'm in the wrong clothes for it to be done. They say, he's calling for you. Rise up, he's calling for you. And the first thing Bartimaeus does is he casts away his garment. He cast away his garment. He cast away his garment. I mean, I understand you accessorized a little bit more when you were single and searching, but you're married now. You ought to dress like you're married. See, when you're searching, you dress to attract. But when you're married, you dress to detract because nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors. See, when you're married, you go out in public with your hair up. Y'all, you see, y'all ain't getting it. See, what y'all do is you get married and then you want to act like you're single. Dress up for everybody else, then you get home, you got them big old rollers in your head, no makeup, big old flowery dress, slippers. Don't make me start a marriage seminar up in here. I mean, if anybody ought to see you looking good, it ought to be your husband in the private chamber of your own home. Men come home, won't bathe till time to go to bed, all dirty from work, and they brush their teeth, comb their hair, and tell me, come here, baby. Get ready to go down wherever. Boy, they go in there, they going to bathe, they going to come out smelling, put some smell good on, everything out in the world. Then you wonder why y'all roommates. I was just trying to see if I was in here by myself because they got awfully quiet then all of a sudden. You've got to cast off your garments. The Bible says he called for Bartimaeus. And while calling for him, Bartimaeus decided that it's now or never. Because I'm not guaranteed that Jesus will ever come this way again. So Bartimaeus decided that he was going to take advantage of the opportunity. The Bible said that he cast off his garment and he rose up and he went towards the voice of Jesus. Do y'all hear me? He got before Jesus, and the Bible said that Jesus says to him, Bartimaeus, why are you calling me so loudly? What is it that you want me to do for you? Bartimaeus said, well, I'm tired of just getting by. I'm tired of depending on somebody to put something in my cup. Do y'all hear me? And what I need you to do is, I heard about you that you got power to heal. I heard about how you turn water into wine. And don't y'all know this morning that there is no secret. What the Lord done for others, he will do the same thing for you. Can I get a sanctified witness in here? Know that all you got to do is call him up and tell him what you want. If you want more power, tell the Lord, I need more power, and he'll send it on down. Do I have a witness this morning? Know that he is a burden bearer. He'll help you bear your burden in the heat of the day. James said, we have not because we ask not. Do y'all hear me? Every once in a while, I've got to go to God and tell the Lord, I need you, Lord, to help me while I run this race. Only do it. Only do it. Yes, Lord. The Bible said, Bartimaeus told him, I want to receive my sight. Do y'all hear me? And the Lord said to Bartimaeus, I don't have to open no drugstore because you brought everything you need. Do y'all hear me? I don't have to spit on no ground because you brought everything you need. Well, what did Bartimaeus bring, Jesus? He brought faith. Do y'all hear me? And I told you on the outset, without faith, it's impossible to please God. Have I got one witness in here that know by faith you can ask the Lord and the Lord will? I heard Jesus say all things, not some things, but all things are possible to him that believe. Do I have a witness in here? No. If you trust God, he will work it out. May not come when you want it. But I dare you to wait on the Lord. He'll come see about you. On and do it. On and do it. If you know God will do it, let me hear you say, yeah! Shout it, yeah! Ain't he all right? Excuse me here, y'all, but I feel all right now. I say he's all right. He walks with me. He talks with me. He holds my hand. Oh, Lord. Bartimaeus threw his garment away. Do y'all hear me? Now here it's time to celebrate. The Bible said he gave Bartimaeus his sight. Now watch Bartimaeus when he got up and got able to see. He didn't go in the world. Mark said he joined up with Jesus. Great God Almighty, if the Lord has done anything for you and you ain't ashamed to be a witness, come on, let's celebrate. Just wave your hand if you love the Lord. Let me hear you say, ain't he all right? This 8 o'clock, y'all, but I feel all right. I got joy. Bartimaeus received his sight, and when he got his sight, the Bible says he followed Jesus. He followed Jesus in the way. In other words, he said to Jesus, where you going, I'm going. I want to be with you. And if you're tired today of what's going on in your life, quit magnifying and amplifying what's wrong. Count your blessings one by one. You may not like the job you got, but it's a blessing you got a job. Oh, I thought I said something there. You might not like the address you live in at, but it's a blessing you got a roof over your head. Count your blessings one by one. It will amaze you what the Lord has already done. He's done so much for me that if he doesn't do anything else, I thought I had some church folk up in here. Anybody gonna testify? If he doesn't do anything else for you, he's already done enough. Bless you. God bless you. The door is open. They must stay safe.